So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it!
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. What about you?
1 2 1 2.
Why is it that when people do mic checks, they only stop at 2? Like there is no 3,
1 2
4,
1 2.
no 5.
1 2 3.
What'd you say?
1 2 3.
Oh, now he's showing off.
1 2 3.
Hey, that's really good. It's your girl LaTangela, and welcome back to another episode of the LaTangela Show podcast. You never know who's going to be in the hot seat or on the tan line, but today I have a treat for you. When I tell you one of the most amazing gentlemen that I have ever met, let me tell you something. Maddie, you raised them well. That's all I'm going to say. My girl, I have to give her major props. I ran into this phenomenal couple while I was leaving the inauguration for Mayor Johnson of St. Gabriel. You know, you just sometimes, I want to say that it's chance encounters, but it's not. I believe that God has ordered all of our steps, and that whenever we're walking in our assignments, we're walking and fulfilling our purpose, He aligns those who are aligned within our purpose, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I met Maddie and I met Jaylen, and I was like, you know what? This young couple, they are just an amazing group of individuals. They're hanging out at the inauguration. You know what I mean? And then I see them working again that Saturday, that Friday,
Right.
that Sunday. And I'm like, you know what? Really, really, really hard workers. And I applaud you for that. And Jaylen, you know, you said that you wanted to come in, you want to do a shout out. And I was like, no. We got questions that need real answers.
Oh, yeah.
You're here at the inauguration. So now it's only fair that I ask, why is it so important that you even attend events like this? But before we get to the
Yes,
event,
ma'am.
why is it so important that you are a part of the conversation? So,
Yes, ma'am.
welcome to the hot seat.
Hello. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm holding on.
Yes, ma'am. Nice to be over here.
Look, and I want you to
beautiful
think of this as an extension of your office. This is your
Yes,
first trip, but do not let it be your last, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, no.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
All right. So, as you may know, my name is Jaylen York. I am from St. Gabriel, Louisiana.
St. Gabriel's in
Um,
now.
I'm a senior that graduated from MSA East Academy. Now
Okay.
I will be an incoming freshman
Of
at
where?
Southern University.
The Southern
Yes,
University.
So
Okay,
yes, ma'am, I'll
okay.
be attending Southern University. I'm currently already over there. I'm attending the Jaguar Success Academy.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Jaguar Success Academy is a new academy, I guess you could say. We call it. It's a new academy that's currently at Southern University that recognizes the top achieving young Jaguars that will be incoming.
Okay.
So as everyone may know, I scored a pretty high ACT score. I made sure to keep my grades great. I mean, I had a nice GPA. So I always want to strive for greatness.
That's
I heard
it.
the Jaguar Success Academy. I'm sorry. And then I contacted them. They contacted me, and we made sure to make it happen so I could get a head start.
A young man
Yes,
with a
ma'am.
plan.
Yes, ma'am. So a lot of people are actually attending. Well, not a lot of people. I'd say it's about like 5% out of 1,000 or thousands. So it's like a lot of
Wow.
young kids that are coming that have their mind forward on having a great career in the future. And we have nice mentors. We have phenomenal administration, and we're just here to attack and show everybody that you got to strive for greatness.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Every single day. There's no such thing as a day off, Jaylen.
No such thing.
You know, every day that ends in Y is a Monday.
Right. So currently, we started class already. I mean, we moved in.
What?
Yeah, we moved in day after, started class. Been attending class from 8 a.m. all the way to about 3 p.m.
Oh, okay.
You have a few breaks here and there, and we just learning until
You're getting after it.
until we fall down.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how are you enjoying the process?
Oh, I'm enjoying it so much. Every day, like I say, my motto is to grow 1%. I grow 1% in every aspect of life. Even if some people find it negative, I find it as a learning experience.
Yeah.
So if something negative happened, I just learn from that.
I like
Just keep going up. And you know, ever since I attended this academy, I learned more and more. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that I may have not known.
That's true.
Ways I didn't know how to present myself, kind of.
Yeah.
And I made sure to grow in that aspect.
And that's one of the things about the yard. You will find your voice on that yard.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
will find your tribe on that yard.
You have to be involved. I mean, there's no way about it. Being an HBCU, historically black college university, is very it's very striving for black excellence. I guess you could say black excellence. So they'll make sure that you're going to be excellent in whatever you're striving for. You're not going to be there just to be there and slack off. No, you're going to be involved.
And you know, you have to understand that even in this program, but whatever process it is in life, people need not to get away from the fact that you only get out what you put in.
Right, correct.
You know, we can put you in a winning environment, but if you don't play to win, there's no way that you know, so
you snooze, you lose. Right.
Simple.
Right.
So knowing that you're applying yourself day in and day out, you know, I really applaud you for that. And we understand that surrounding ourselves with ourselves.
Yes, ma'am.
Put that in perspective, because birds of a feather flock together.
Look, I can say that from my beautiful girlfriend, Maddie. I mean, she's so beautiful, intelligent, and bright. She made sure I also grow a lot. I mean, as a young man, you have to be around the right people.
Raising the bar, the level of expectancy has to be high.
She helped me grow a lot. I commend her for that.
Absolutely. I commend you both, because queens will always make sure that the king rise to the occasion.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, you can't half step.
Right.
You know, you want to strive with excellence. You can't come around here slacking.
Oh, no.
Apply yourself.
Look,
in the words of Friday, apply yourself, smoke games.
I always surround myself around grace. I mean, even my father. My father, he's a very humble man. Yeah. Never been the most to doing. He'll just chill. He learn. He pay attention to his surroundings. Yeah. He's very hardworking. I got my work ethic from him. Yeah. In fact, he's been strong throughout the process. All the stuff that I saw him go through in life, he always made sure to do one thing, and that's to bounce back. Yeah. Never been the type to, you know, I'm gonna just take it high. No, we're gonna jump from that, and we're gonna go ahead.
And I know that it does his heart well to hear you say that, to know that he wasn't just going through it alone, you know, because even when you have those around you who love you, may not understand what you're going through, but to see that he has some type of resiliency with him, to know that there was an inner strength, that he was relying on a greater source, and that he was doing it not just for himself, but he had a son that's sitting there like, what are we gonna do? You know, so that's always a major plus. And to know that you walked away with a lesson out of what some may have calculated as a loss.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's always powerful. And you know, we got so many different things to harp on. You hear them saying this is a lost generation. Well, it does my heart well when I come across the Jaylen Yorks of the world, because that shows me that there are beacon of lights that's just there, and that we need to highlight them. And with this podcast platform, I love to highlight those who are making headline news for all of the right reasons. Because if you want the junk, if you want the trash, you want people flipping tables, hooping, hollering, fussing, cussing, angry at this, mad at that, that's fine. There are outlets for that. But I want to have the conversations with those and get the story behind the story as of what motivates you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And just hearing your heart. I know who I'm dealing with.
Yes, ma'am.
So now you understand that we got a lot of situations that's running rapid around the world.
Right.
And it's desensitized a lot, especially when we think we can ignore the youth. Like, you have a voice, but only when we need your numbers.
Yes, ma'am.
And when I say your numbers, I mean your text blast. I mean, we need you to show up because you are in this targeted demographic, and I need X amount of y'all to come through and pull me over the hump in the slump of this election.
Yes, ma'am.
Why is it so important that we do not count out the voices of the youth when it's time for a real change?
The voices of the youth, that's the incoming generation. I mean, you cannot always depend on the past.
Yeah.
Cannot depend on the past. You got to make a change for yourself, for the people around you, and for the whole wide world. One thing I noticed is that, like you said, a lot of people are not very outspoken in our generation, and a lot of people from your generation, from the older generation, also, you know, make sure that.
This boy just yawed me. Did y'all hear that?
I'm sorry.
I fight kids. I fight kids. I'm joking.
they also make sure that hold them accountable.
Yeah.
We have to be held accountable if we want to grow.
That's
It's
true.
it's no way about it. I mean, it's only a few amount of ways that we could grow, and that's one way to be held accountable by the older generation.
So, now that we're talking about
Yes,
it with
ma'am.
elections and issues, when you and your friends are just sitting around hanging out and you're watching the news or it's just day-to-day interactions, what are some of the things that you would like for those who are in power to address? Like, what are some of the concerns that you all have?
My number one concern, I talk about it all the time, education.
Mm-hmm.
Outlets of education. I mean, as I look around, we have so many people that just are out in the street, my age or younger,
Mm-hmm.
doing nothing when they should be in school.
Mm-hmm.
They should be learning, or they could even be at trade school. It's not that hard. I see a few politicians, I see a few leaders that actually reach out to the youth.
Yeah.
It's only the amount of people that I could count on my single hand that actually reach out for the youth. It's so much focus on the tax money and all the incoming corporations dealing with, the economy.
Yeah.
Well, you know who makes up the economy?
I'm listening.
The people that works it.
Mm-hmm.
We're the incoming generation. We're going to be working the same economy that you're focusing on currently. We cannot succeed and grow as a country if we have our leaders not holding us accountable while we're not learning nothing. We have to learn.
Yeah.
Number one, transportation. As I see, a lot of people do not have transportation in the Baton Rouge area, even the area that I'm from, St. Gabriel. It's such a problem. You need transportation to get to where you need to be at.
This is true. And and when you think about it, if it's not a necessity of yours, it does not make top tier.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not that the void isn't there. It's just something that's not on your doorstep. So maybe those who are in power, they're not asking the right questions to the right people, and it's not top of mind for them. Not saying that it's not important, but
Right.
it's just not on my to-do list because, it just hadn't landed on my doorstep yet. But when you brought up education, we have to think about it. This truancy rate is crazy
It's
high
skyrocketing.
every year.
Yeah,
Every year.
it
So
gets
many
worse.
different factors are a part of that. But now that we know that for years they have been turning the education system into a pendulum as of they're going to college or they're going to the jailhouse. But by third grade, they're already formulating stats that's going to tell
And
us.
that's another thing.
Younger and younger.
That's another thing. I see a lot of non-learning experiences. I see more of you're at fault. You're going right there to the juvenile system. You're at fault. You're getting kicked out. Well, when you're only in a small area like I'm from, you only have about one school that you go to. You have two schools. The other school is limiting. It only allows a high GPA to get in, right? So that means you only got one school. But at one school that we have, some of the children are not, very disciplined at their house, which is not their fault at all.
Right.
As leaders, as teachers, as administration and staff, y'all should make sure that the children learn what they do not learn at home. Not fault them and kick them out to the juvenile system, and then from there they're gonna lose hope on themselves, and then eventually just keep on thinking that they're against the world.
Yeah.
And grow as a future criminal or something.
It is a holistic approach, right? And
Yeah.
you have to keep in mind. But then also on the flip side of that, when you're listening to those who are the educators, they do it because hopefully this is a passion of theirs.
Yes, ma'am.
And because they love the job, they love the calling, they love the students. But do you know how overwhelmed a lot of them actually say that they are?
Yeah, right.
It's hard for them to get the lesson plan and to discipline.
Yes, ma'am.
But then when you say, well, you can't kick them out because kicking them out kicks them directly to the streets. And then
Yes,
when you
ma'am.
come to East Baton Rouge Parish, you'll notice that you do have more options. Now, I wouldn't have thought of it that way because I'm in East Baton Rouge Parish. I
Yes,
see the
ma'am.
option after option after
Oh,
option.
yes. I mean, it's a lot of schools.
Yeah, but when you narrow it down and say, well, if you kick them out, they only got 1 or 2 or 3 places that you can rotate them to.
Right.
So now we're talking about a holistic approach to where maybe counseling is there. Maybe they have a second chance at another
ma'am.
school or another situation. But that's something else that's definitely top of mind.
That's another approach I like to address. I would like to address how mentality is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You need help towards your mental status in order to live. The teachers, they go through a lot.
They do.
I mean, they almost get minimum wage. They don't get paid enough, and they only get a certain amount of benefits. So then also the children, it's not a lot of resources. It's not a lot of benefits. So it needs to be a way where we find a way to commend each other and make sure that we can also grow. As far as that's why I think that more extracurricular activities, more sports organizations,
less
more
idle hands,
something to keep people off the streets, more organizations that will show the youth. I was thinking about proposing a youth council for students that are going to law in the parish, in Iberville Parish. One day I'd like to have a conversation with our president. I mean, not president, but our parish president, Mr. Russo.
Sounds like an email that you need to send.
Yeah, I would propose to him about involving some of the youth into a youth council, so we could get more exposed and learn more about our surrounding areas.
I love it.
So, yes, ma'am.
And even when you mention transportation, right? When you go to bigger cities, public transportation isn't an afterthought. It's their main source. If you're in New York, nobody's trying to drive a car in New York. Even catching an Uber in New York is just hell and high water.
Yes, ma'am.
It's tough.
It's very tough.
It's top of mind, so it runs like clockwork. It's accessible every time you turn around, right?
Yes,
but then when you're going to different areas, you notice that maybe transportation is an issue, right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you would like to see with that? Because this is a college town. A lot of our college students may not be able to afford cars.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe they are relying on that. Have you ever tried to utilize the transportation system just maybe as top of mind, just to kind of see how it works?
Shit. What all starts with the transportation system is the amount of benefits you receive. I actually wrote a paper on this.
Okay, I'm listening.
The household that you come out of allows you to do as much as you can. The amount of income that you produce in that household allows you to purchase these cars, purchase the ways of getting an Uber, a Lyft, or even a bus. So when it comes to us having a lot of horrible wages in Louisiana, we have a racial gap. African Americans and the white Americans. Majority of the people with transportation issues are the African Americans. That's why we always are at the corner. We're always trying to get to a bus. We can't. We have a low minimum wage. We have a low wage. What we need to attack is making this racial gap between African Americans and white Americans lessen. We need to, provide more ways of African Americans to learn in order to get more income, so they could provide for the youth, so they may could bring their children to school, so they may could bring their children to the doctor. It's a very big issue, and only one way to address that is by just getting a little more of leadership involved in these little gaps.
Right. It plays a big role. You can only do what you can do with what you got.
And, this all relates to health issues also.
It does.
A lot of people don't notice this. The less transportation you have to make it to this grocery store that's about 30 minutes away, the more likely you are to go to this gas station that's a corner away that's only selling a boudin, hot chips, or Coca-Cola.
And a pig lip.
Are you going to have vitamins at this gas station? No.
Right.
You're not. You need
fresh vegetables. Probably not.
You need fresh produce. You need vitamins. You need supplements.
Yeah.
You need fresh food. I mean.
So now we're addressing the food deserts as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And these are the things that we hear about every election, but we're not really sure if the young people are using that as a hot topic day to day. We don't know unless we know. Right. And that's why it's important that we open a line of communication. And I want to hear from the Jaylen Yorks of the world. I want to hear from the Maggies of the world to tell me, hey, what's going on? What are some of the things that's facing us?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Because people can force feed you their quick fix.
Yes, ma'am.
But what are the things that we need to fix or to address? And
yes,
are we asking the right people for the right assignments?
And that's when we come in and make change. You can only say so much, but sometimes you just gotta take action and learn. you know what? I'm not going to try to depend on this person. I myself, I'm going to make change. It may not be the biggest change, but it will be a slight change that will help contribute to a bigger change.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because it's very enlightening to hear someone your age say, I'm not going to wait for this person in this position to wave a magic wand and fix it for me. It's the little decisions that I can make every single day that will come up with the better, bigger result for us all, right? And accountability. How do you feel that your generation and your friends, while you're just hanging around, that accountability factor, how does that weigh in for y'all?
I surround myself only around a few people that I know that could contribute to my success in the future. It's my girlfriend, Maddie, my brother, Cameron, and my dad. That's only 3 people that I surround myself on a daily. Each 3 people teach me different life skills in which they hold me accountable day by day for something that I may mess up on that the other one may not notice. You get what I'm saying? Right. So rule number 1, surround yourself around the right people. Everybody, not the same. Everybody have differences. In order to learn, you have to be made aware of your mistakes.
True.
You know, it has been days where I have not set my alarm. And you know what? My dad, he'll come in the room, he'll be like, why your alarm not set?
You got something to do.
That's something that my brother or my girlfriend may not tell me, correct? One day, I might not text her and communicate to her about where I'm going or what's happening and why I'm not talking. She will hold me accountable and tell me to do this. You know how that contributes to my life skills? That helped me prepare for times like this where I have to contact my professor and let him know, hey, I might not be able to make it. I'm not ghosting you. I'm not leaving you out of my daily schedule. I'm just letting you know. Communication, right? So holding each other accountable could really teach you a lot.
Yeah.
It can teach you a lot.
And even with that too, we always want to say that people that checking up on us or want us to check in, man, it's a dangerous world out here. Right. Somebody needs to be accountable for where you are, how you're doing, who you were last seen with, because we never know. Right. And if you love your loved ones, you will check in.
You will check in.
Life gets busy, but we want to make sure that you're safe. We want to make sure that you're healthy and hopefully happy. If not happy, we want to know why not. But it's important that you have those levels of accountability across the board because it does make you better, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then people have to take that and learn how to adjust and to reciprocate that, but also how to receive it.
And look, it's another problem. A lot of people do not take accountability in the right positive form. A lot of people, I'm speaking solely on my generation. Know what we do to our teachers that may tell us, sit down, do your work, put the phone down. You know what we do? Get out. I'm going to get out. I'll let you talk to my parent. I'm going to call my parent. No, they just trying to make sure that you're learning. That's all.
That's it.
You don't have to always take everything as a negative form or a negative lesson. You're not against the world. They're not against you. Yeah. Sometimes people actually want to see the brightest spot of you grow. They want to see you grow.
That's good.
So you have to also learn how to take stuff and not always, take it in the worst way. Patience is virtue.
It is.
So you got to be patient. You got to take stuff in, let it know.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. When we're talking about making a change and not just showing up at the polls or being a part of the conversation, when it's time for our numbers to add up, what are some of the things that you would like to see for your friends to say that they're going to be a part of the conversation, a part of the change day in and day out? What are some of those things?
Let me let y'all know right now. March 28th, I turned 18. That day after March 28th, I made sure to register to be a voter.
There you have it.
One thing about it is that you have to be involved in your community if you want change. That one vote that you may be thinking does not affect anything, it does.
It does.
I mean, recently in St. Gabriel, the vote was so close. It was very close. I get on everyone that's around me, my community. I even talked to my brother about it. I talked to my peers about it. I was like, we all need a vote. Are y'all gonna wake up? Y'all got your alarm set? Y'all gonna come up work? Like, y'all gotta come and vote. I had to go to workouts right after I voted. I went to workouts right after. I made sure to set my alarm, wake up at 6 in the morning, be one of the first people at the community center. And I made sure to vote because I want to see change in my city. I want to see change that's around me. I do not want to snooze and I see change. I text my friends, text my dad. I wish one of my friends was with me right now. I was making sure that I was like, yeah, bro, you gonna vote? I text him 2 days before the vote. Like, are you gonna vote?
Because it should be a part of the conversation. You know why? Yeah. Because the decisions that we make, directly or indirectly, will be the change.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
It will be.
So if we don't show up to say yay or nay, somebody's gonna say it for us.
Oh, they're gonna, and then they're gonna say it for us. Then we're gonna get mad about it.
Now you can't really get mad. Now you won't talk about it.
They did their vote. Now you could have did your vote.
Now you won't have a conversation.
Look, it could have been a tiebreaker or something. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. And I know that you're on campus for your highlight reel 5 years from now.
Yes, ma'am.
As you're making your mark on the yard. You're standing on the shoulders of some giants, people who have paved the way and made sure that the Southern University is exactly what it needs to be for you in this moment. What contributions would you like to make towards the Southern University to make sure that you're doing the same for the next?
Yes, ma'am. So even before enrolling into the Southern University, I have made my contributions. I have made sure to donate. I donated to the council that's over there, which ends up contributing to other people's scholarships. Yeah. I made sure to get a lot of professors, a lot of staff and administration contact numbers to let them know that I would love to learn here. I want to encourage everybody that learning is very fun. I made sure to let the professors know, add a little boost to the adrenaline. I made sure to get some of my friends that play on the football team, like, I'm gonna perhaps go this and there. What's y'all plans? And look, some of them come to Southern University with me. Yeah. We're all here to strive and learn. We're learning. Another contribution I made, I made sure to come around and involve people in the Jaguar Success Academy. I had a few friends from Catholic. I have a few friends from around the Baton Rouge area. I was like, we was at orientation, we were talking about, like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to jump on board. Yeah. So we're building a strong fleet.
Peer pressure to build a strong fleet.
Yes, ma'am.
I like that.
Just from that, we're going to keep on growing. We're learning from each other. We're thinking of ways that we're going to contribute to this successful campus, to this successful history of the Southern University. And that's one of my main goals. I want to make sure that we are stronger every day, day by day. I want to make sure that the community evolves.
I am so proud of you, and I appreciate you for all of the contributions that you're making, not just to the yard, but just to those in general. You are a light. Maddie, I appreciate you too, and I am so proud of you as well. It's just so heartwarming to see young people that's striving in the spirit of excellence, wanting to do it the right way, wanting to be the change and move the needle in the right direction. So this is an extension of your office. I'll be doing walk-bys on campus, trying to see if you went class or not, trying to see if you got your homework done or not, trying to see if you over here joining these organizations or not. I'm like on the campus, on the yard, like I'm there. So if you see me do a walk-by and hear the bird call, you better make sure you're right.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
I'll make sure. I already know who that is.
You better believe it. And I know you got more work to do, so I'm going to let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.